Hello guys, this is your Uncle Big Fish. And yeah, after so long of everyone asking for a new updated tier list for all the classes in the game, with of course the new classes that's added, Wusa and Megu, we have now a new tier list. For arenas, this one will be just for arenas, right? So everything's balanced out, like no CPs involved and shit. So yeah, I've thought about this for quite some time. The stats that I gave wasn't very important due to the fact that it's pretty obvious what each classes do and just how strong they are. And those stats don't really determine how good a class is. So on this one, this will be pretty much fully just on the opinions of me and my group, Core Reef. The data was sent by the data that actually ended up becoming this tier list is also gathered by Core Reef members and myself. So if anyone's objecting or something, well, I mean, that's your choice, all right? But this is gonna be coming from a group of pros, so yeah. Now we got a different one. There's Absolute One True God, and I think we all know who that is. We'll be putting that Absolute One True God, aka the gayest class in the whole fucking game currently, and that's gonna be Wusa. Now this one, we don't know if Wusa's gonna get nerfed next week, or if we have to wait another god knows when for any of her changes to actually occur in global. But yes, this class is absolutely broken. We have tried with all 40 classes. There's 41 classes currently, but this one, when we take her out, there's only 40 left. Out of all 40 classes that she is against and matched up with, she is absolutely broken. There is 0 counters for Wusa currently. This class has 0 counters. It's very easy to play. It destroys melee classes in particular. It dumpsters most range classes. It has no bad matchups as well. And it's only got 2 answers, at least 2 classes that might stand a chance. Probably there's 3 classes in total, but I'll just say 2 is a lot more on the right ballpark. So now, the first one being Buccaneer. Buccaneer is probably one of the only classes in the game that's capable of at least surviving against this class, just to the ability to kite around. But that is also not exactly an answer, because if you put Wusa and Buccaneer next to each other and they're both equally skilled, the Buccaneer will lose. That has been proven. We have already tested that with a pro on both classes. So yeah, it's looking kind of grim, guys. But let's just get into the video. There's Absolute One True God, and it's going to be Wusa and just Wusa only. And next we'll have Demon Tier, which will basically say that this class is absolutely broken, and against anything aside from the Absolute One True God, a Demon Tier class will perform extremely well. Next will be Anti-Meta. These are classes that are quite good, but you need a lot of skill for it, which means that you need to kind of really play the class a lot and know how to use it well. Next will be Not Good. These will be classes that are not garbage yet, but it's not great at all. It's not great. Yeah, finally we have Trash. These are classes that is completely unplayable, and if you use these classes, you are fucking dead. We will also be discussing that everything in this tier list will be full and maximized in their kit, which means that we do include grab opening, we do include everything else. So yeah. Alright, now let's start from the very first one, Fletcher. Now, this Fletcher is currently an anti-meta class. It's a very, very strong arena class currently. It's got extremely good sustain due to the changes in Seret. Now, he's got 4 charges of Keep Away, 2 charges of Circle of Thorns, and 1 charge of Deadshot, which makes that 7 total Seret skills. And each skill heals pretty much 1.5% of your health. So that is effectively a 10.5% heal after using all of them. They also have very, very low cooldown, and they are very strong skills, because Circle of Thorns is spammable, Keep Away is both your opening skill and also spammable, 4 charges, and Deadshot is pretty much a super armor skill in the arenas. So having that will give this class extreme levels of sustain, absolutely broken shit, yeah? But it's not that strong to the point where it will become a demon tier class, however. Alright, so now one thing is the format will be played at a pro level, so we will not be putting it in decent. I think the past couple tier list people were asking, oh my god, yeah, this class is so broken, but I think that's because everyone's thinking about, oh okay, this class is good in normal, so like it's good or something. It's probably not. And yeah, so what's going on is we're gonna be using the format of this is all gonna be played by actual pros. So it might suck for you, it might be good for you. There are some classes that are really hard to play, but it's pretty rewarding. There are some classes that are really easy and just extremely strong. There are classes that are hard to play and also garbage. Like, yeah, so we'll be putting this on pros at a pro level. So yeah, all right. Next will be Archer. Archer is currently also an anti-meta class. This class, I'm kind of debating where to put this, either before or after Fletcher. But Fletcher has a much better matchup against most things, because he's got one of the best coverage. Archer does not have the same coverage. In terms of mobility as well, Fletcher is better, just a lot more stable. The class is more stable, it's got more sustain. Damage-wise, Fletcher deals just slightly below Archer, and that's pretty much all Archer's good for. Speed is probably just slightly behind, but that's okay. Archer is just almost as good as Fletcher, but it's just Fletcher just has much better matchup, even at a pro level. Next will be Warlord. I think this one needs no more introduction. This is a very broken class, very tanky, huge amounts of sustain, and boasts the highest damage output in the game. The highest damage combo in the game belongs to the Warlord, able to reach staggering numbers of some insane shit. You can actually one-shot a GM on a maximum roll with this class. That's absolutely insane. Next one, one last thing. The Warlord has amazing coverage for forward guards. This class breaks forward guard easily. Like, out of 4 of his super armor skills, 3 of them break forward guard. One of them breaks it instantly, and the other one actually goes towards a forward guard breaking skill, which is upper hand. They deal a lot of damage, really good at trading, really good at almost everything, and because he's so tanky, grab openings do like no damage to it. So yeah, it's just a very broken class. Next will be the Blade Master. Blade Master is one of those anti-meta classes. This class is super good, amazing perfect coverage. It's perfect. It's got forward guard, it's got forward guard break, it's got invincible, it's got anti-grab, it's got everything, it's got mana break. The only thing it doesn't have is high levels of damage, and that is the problem with this class. Aside from that, everything is literally almost perfect. But in the meta where one combo will pretty much like one-shot you or get close to it, this class needs to CC you a couple times. And if you're talking like Blade Master versus a tanky class, you probably need like 3 or 4, which makes it hard for him. Next will be the Buccaneer. Buccaneer is currently a demon tier class. I don't know where to put this, but to be honest, I think Buccaneer is slightly better than Warlord at pro level. Buccaneer is just perfect. Yeah, it's probably the single best range type class in the game. Absolutely perfect. It's got amazing trading power, amazing combo damage, amazing rotation, amazing kiting ability. It does not have one thing though. It doesn't have sustain. This class is sustain, and arenas is absolutely dog shit. It's got no good Seret skills to put into, so you pretty much don't want to go Seret with the Buccaneer because it's not good. But her kits alone is just good enough for that. Next will be the Corsair. The Corsair is currently not good. This class is not great by any means. The damage is kind of low. Coverage is great, but everything else kind of sucks. It's like, if you want to play like one of those niche classes, I recommend using Blade Master instead. Blade Master is just a lot better. in that regard. It's got better rotation than the Corsair. Corsair just lacks in a lot of things, in particular damage, and in order to outplay someone you need a lot of skill to play this class. Unfortunately, in the current meta where things are a bit broken, this class just simply can't compete, even at a pro level. Next will be Phantasma. Phantasma is a broken class. This class is absolutely amazing. It's broken, it's got perfect coverage, it's got perfect immunity, it's got perfect everything. Dodge iframe is super strong, range is very strong, very good rotation, like everything's good about this class. There's nothing bad about it. Really strong class, and the sustain is also absolutely amazing. A lot of Seret skills, a lot of spammable Seret skills. Like you can put Seret on Umbral Pillars, you can put Seret on your what's it called again, your Dark Cleave and other skills. It's just a really sustainable class. Very strong, bulky. Once you use Umbral Pillars, you get 30% damage reduction, so that's really nice, and the class is super strong. Next will be the Void Knight. Void Knight is currently in the not good meta, unfortunately. And the way we look at this is we need to see this from a perspective of the current meta. The current meta is filled with classes that are demon tier, absolute one true god, or some of them might be anti-meta. And this VK is absolutely dog shit against everything above. So, it's not great. So many forward guard breakers, so many grabbers. The class just lacks a lot of coverage. The class does not have any coverage. That is the problem. It's very bulky and it's got a lot of sustain, but damage is kind of low. Coverage, none whatsoever, and that really hurts the class a lot, especially against like a lot more of these stronger classes. Next will be the Destroyer. Absolutely trash. Don't need to say anything about it. Very low damage, bad rotation, bad everything, zero coverage. It's got like one coverage, I would say. Like on your, it's got one coverage, forward guard break on your directed fire bomb, but that's about it. Damage is kind of low. Sustain is it's not bad actually. It's quite bulky as well, but it's just garbage. It's a range class, but it doesn't really have the power of a range class nor the speed. It's like a hybrid, but it sucks at both worlds. It sucks at being a ranged, it sucks at being melee. Super bad class. Don't play this class. You will quit the game. Next will be the Titan. Titan is an absolutely demon tier class. This class is probably either better than Phantasma or probably somewhere around that area. It's definitely not better than Warlord, I can give you that much. It's either as good as Phantasma or worse than Phantasma. Either one. I can't really decide between the two. It's like they fill a very different role. But currently, I would say Phantasma is slightly better in terms of just sheer stability. Next will be Solaris. Solaris is an anti-meta class. It is currently probably a little bit worse than Archer. This class is super strong, very high damage, very good coverage. It's got one anti-grab. It's got this one of the best charging skills in the game, being Thermal Rush. Its CCs on every hit, has pretty much almost the most perfect turn rate. You can break forward guard instantly, and it just keeps on continuously breaking forward guard, and that really makes it super strong. Damage is great, coverage is great. It's just a really good class. It's got grab as well. Grab opening damage of this class is also extremely high, so that's something you can bank on alongside Titan. The only reason why this class is worse than Titan is her rotation is not as good as Titan. She's not as bulky as Titan. Her combo damage is not as crazy as Titan. Titan is just an overall better Solaris in almost every sense, except she's better at breaking forward guard. But when you have grab, it doesn't really matter, right? Alright, next is gonna be Hosashin. Hosashin is currently a not good class. If you're asking me, is Hosashin a good class? I think Hosashin is a really good class. However, in the current meta, it's not a good class due to just a sheer amount of classes that destroys it. For example, Busa, obviously the Buccaneer destroys him. Warlord destroys him. Phantasma just kites him like shit. And Titan is just too tanky and his trading is too strong. Hash just can't do much. It's just a really outdated class. Its damage is quite bad. It's quite bulky, but not really. So it's like, it's somewhere in between. Rotation is amazing though. And he's got healing on Eye of the Storm. Sand Bleeding is also a great source of damage. And it scales with CP. However, in a balanced case, even at a high tier level, Hash is just not good. Not good at all. Next will be Kunoichi. Absolutely garbage. Yeah, this class is probably just slightly better than Destroyer, but yeah, this class sucks. It's got so many holes. It's not in that sense, guys. Don't be dirty. She's got so many immunity holes. It's not great. You take so much risk playing this class. You can play this class in a really stally and bulky way, but even then the damage is not great. Like, the damage that she pumps is not really amazing. Coverage wise is perfect. She's got 1 grab, she's got 2 forward guard break, and she's got 2 anti-grab. So the class's coverage is great, but everything else about it sucks. She's very soft. Her damage is not great. Her trading power is non-existent. Her rotation is not great. It's just not good. Yeah, it's not good. And her damage is very outdated. Her rotation sucks, and if you want to do her full combo, you can't. Not out of the very weird reasons, because they increased her cooldown. So what happens is you don't have enough skills for an actual full combo. It's actually quite funny how you look at it, but you know that you can fit like 2 more skills into the combo, but the class just doesn't have enough skills to use for that. Next will be the Crimson Lily. This class at a pro level is actually an anti-meta, and the reason for that is simple. This class has 24/7 immunity. It's pretty soft, but it heals a lot. And because it can kite you around by some time, there is a playstyle that is extremely cancerous, and that's called the bulky healing pussy playstyle, which basically means you go full Serret, you have a passive healing that heals 10% of your health every 4 or 5 skills, and you just run away from people. You will trade with them the first couple, maybe the first 20 seconds you will trade, and then after that you will just continuously run away and kite people to death. You just keep healing and healing and healing and healing and healing indefinitely. This class is broken when played right. Extremely ballsack class, but not enough to be a demon tier, and against a proper class that can really like pump damage into you, the class is not exactly great, and because of that, the class is not a demon tier. Next will be Lon. Lon is an anti-meta class. This class is absolutely amazing. Perfect coverage, 2 forward guard break on the double dash skill, and also on the backhanded invincible skill. I forgot the name. The one where she dashes backwards. It dazes, yeah? So this class got perfect coverage. Her trading power is really nice on Pendulum Kick. This skill also has healing on Super Armor, deals really good damage, and also she's very bulky, and she's immune to debuffs. Her passive means that if you use your evasion, your debuffs will be cleansed, will be purged. Plus, she's also very bulky, very sustainable, a lot of Serret skills, and Super Armor that heals a lot of health. Just a really good class. Rotation is also 24/7 immunity, almost 24/7 immunity. Extremely broken class, yeah? However, compared to the ones above, I don't think she's that amazing, because she gets wrecked by a lot of different matchups. Next will be Reaper. Reaper is what I would say not good. This class is probably somewhere around here. I would argue Reaper is better in terms of everything compared to, say, Corsair. Reaper's got invincible. It's got good. They did a couple changes on her. Her damage is absolutely not great, but her sustain is quite nice. She's got a couple Serret skills, and also the class at high tiers can pretty much like use non-super armor skills like Reaver, like how Cars did it. It's like the way I see it, when a pro uses this class, its performance is extremely good compared to what if a normie is using it, yeah? However, the class is not good due to a couple of reasons, and that is the fact that her super armor skills don't deal a lot of damage, and because of that, she loses in trading. She's not exactly bulky either, and also this class gets absolutely destroyed by grabs. And believe it or not, the card most famous classes are all grabbers, so either grabbers or, well, classes that just out-trade her. So yeah, that's not great. Next will be Primrose. Primrose is currently a not good class. This class once lose its Frigid Burst, stall. Now the class have terrible immunity rotation. You can't really do a lot of outplays. And you might argue that this class is still pretty good, which I do agree. However, to a high margin, this class does not have any sort of protection against grabbers. Against grabbers, this class will get extremely dry, and because you can't stall your Frigid Burst, you will get dry even faster now. The class is good against some matchups, but not good overall. Like, I would say Primrose versus a Primrose versus a Fletcher is actually quite a good matchup. However, because the Primrose is bad against everything else, so she's kind of like, put it this way, it's like she's good but not against a lot of things, and so that's an unstable class, and an unstable class is not a good class. That means the class is good against some but really bad against a lot. Next will be Lotus. Lotus is still a broken class. This class is broken, absolutely broken. Huge sustain, extreme mobility, very good trading power, very bulky, got mana break, got critical hit chance reduction. It's got amazing rotation, amazing trading damage. I think I said it twice. This class is really good, yeah. And also perfect coverage. It's got, let me check. I think she's got 4 forward guard break, but protected forward guard break. Evasive strike breaks forward guard by backhanding it. The flow of the retaliate breaks forward guard when it dashes forwards, and Blood Moon, well, is Blood Moon breaks forward guard instantly. Super good, yeah. This class is super awesome, and if you play sustain sets with Seret, this class can heal so much. It's absolutely nonsense. Next will be the Mystic. Mystic is still a broken class, obviously. However, not gonna be put too high due to a couple of factors. And the first factor is this class's immunity is garbage. It's absolutely garbage, right? However, the class is very bulky and the trading power is really good. It's very easy to play, and that priority on your Flurry of Pain is so good. You can use that in a lot of different instances. Very useful for linger catching. Very good class overall. Next will be the Eclipse. Eclipse is an anti-meta class, and I'll probably say Eclipse is slightly better than Solaris. This class has really good coverage. It's got a 3-second forward guard, really good kits. It's got 1 anti-grab, it's got 1 forward guard break, and the class just has a lot of mobility, a lot of speed, and boasts as one of the classes with the strongest forward momentum in the game. And because of that, this class will be put on this list, as the class do have coverage against most classes. It's also relatively bulky. It's not very bulky, but it's quite bulky. It's got 10%, I think. Yeah. And the class is just overall quite nice, and due to the changes of Seret, now this class can pretty much use Royal Fencing Thrust for sustain. It can use Lunge and Seret, so this class can heal a ton, which it previously couldn't, back when Seret was still not a healing skill. Now, the class can get really bulky, yeah. Next will be Nova. Nova is a broken class, but how broken? Now that is a good question. The class is very strong, but it has a couple of weaknesses, and that weakness is in particular to 3 things. 1 is Kite, 2 is Grabs. Yes, believe it or not, this class is not exactly the bulkiest class in the world, due to the class pretty much most of the time doing nothing. However, I'm going to be putting this thing on broken tier, and I'm probably going to put it here due to one particular reason, and that's due to her ability to use her shield. She's got the best shield, the best guard block in the game. She's got Seret on a lot of her stable skills, and you can play a really cancerous playstyle which involves you just staying behind your shield, letting your queen do her damage, and just continuously spam garbage skills and heal yourself to full and run away or try to... There's just so many different playstyle that works with this class. And this class boasts having the second highest combo damage in the game. So this class can pretty much one-shot you from full HP. I think the only class that wouldn't get one-shotted are probably like really bulky classes like probably like Warlord, GM, yeah. But even a GM has, I think at maximum roll it can one-shot a GM. It's very unlikely though, but pretty close to one-shotting. Yeah, the class is really good. Next, Windwalker. Windwalker is, I would say, an anti-meta class. Regarding how good or how bad, I'll probably put it on quite a low tier. The class does have a decent grab opening damage. The class have good coverage, perfect coverage actually. 1 grab, 1 foreguard break, and 1 anti-grab, perfect, yeah. However, the class is very soft, and also her immunity is quite garbage. She's got really horrible immunity, and because of that, it's easy to play around. But aside from that, the class is actually quite nice. Her damage is extremely high. On a high roll, you can one-shot classes with 0 reduce, like Buccaneer, Fletcher, yeah. So her damage is really nice. She's got good linger catch, one of the best linger catchers in the game, being Wind Knife. You can stall the skill as well. It allows for a lot of really good outplays, yeah. So the class have a lot of outplay potential. However, it's just not a great class. But due to having so much coverage and pretty good aggressive presence and very high damage, I'll rank this class a bit on top of the list on anti-meta. The worst anti-meta class, at least. Next will be Huntress. Huntress is currently a anti-meta class. I think she dropped her position from being the strongest class in Demon tier, I think, to just being put here. And the reason is she's outdated. Like, the classes above are just so much stronger than she is. However, I'll probably move her a little bit up, or just putting it at the same tier as either Fletcher or Lon. Like, I do think that Huntress is better than Lon in some ways, but she's worse than Lon by quite a different way. And she's also better than Fletcher in some things, but not as good as Fletcher in some other things. And because of that, we're going to be putting it like so. I guess Lon, Huntress, and Fletcher are probably around the same territory. Next will be Legatus. Now, Legatus will be getting a buff on the next patch. I think it should be next week, yeah? He's getting his attack speed and a couple damage buffs on some of his skills. The attack speed of Lightning Crash was improved, and so the class is slightly better. So it's quite great. And the Corsair also gets more, I think gets more base power on Descending Current. Descending Tide. It also gains a better passive, and also the Legatus actually gaining a little bit more attack speed and damage. So the class is actually not bad. The class does have 24/7 immunity, so it's a really good class. However, the damage is still kind of lacking, and so I'm gonna be putting this Legatus probably still above Reaper, I would say, just due to the ability to rotate indefinitely. The only downside is he's not exactly the bulkiest class. He's very soft. His damage is not great, and yeah, that's pretty much it, yeah. The only thing bad about this class is he just gets traded and he just dies. That's pretty much it. That's the only problem. Next will be this class, Sage. This class is dog shit. Absolute dog shit, and just absolute dog shit. Absolute garbage. By the way, I'm just gonna be moving Legatus here, just because, yeah. You can actually move Legatus here. I put it wrong in the first place. The Legatus has 24/7 immunity, so obviously you gotta be put here, yeah, at the very least. Next will be the Shy. Now, this class is an anti-meta class as well. I would argue this class is around here, and the reason for that is this class is good against some matchups, but gets absolutely destroyed by kiters. In particular, the ones you see above. This class is not particularly good against anything on Demon tier and gets absolutely destroyed by Wusa. So Yeah, many of the classes above really destroys her. That's the only problem. She's unstable. That is the problem, guys. Really good class, has really good matchups against a lot of classes, but 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 yeah, the only downside is unstable class, and an unstable class is not a good class. Raven, still the second best class in the game. This is the second best class in the game after Wusa. There's not really a lot to say. 6 immunities and 3 of them being invincible skills. Perfect coverage, perfect sustain, perfect everything. Yeah, it's just perfect class. It's got no apparent weakness at whatsoever. It's very bulky. It heals a lot. It deals a lot of damage. It's just a really good class. Yeah, and unlike the Buccaneer, she doesn't need to take risks. Next will be the Yacha. Now this Yacha is still a very strong class. Definitely still a very good class. I'll probably put Yacha above Phantasma. This class's the grab opening is still garbage. Yeah, absolutely broken shit. Yeah, very broken grab opening damage, very broken mobility, very broken everything. The immunity is also quite broken, deals a decent amount of damage, and also this class is quite funny in a way that this class is a bit bugged. The hitbox is kind of bugged. Yeah, so this class's CC is kind of confusing because it CCs you first before it actually arrives, so it makes it difficult to play around. And yeah, the class has really low grab opening cooldown, and the damage is quite surreal. And he's got healing skill, he's got healing on his super armor skill. So yeah, just absolutely broken. Very high outplay potential. Very broken class. Yeah. However, versus even Wusa, but Wusa even against the Yacha gets absolutely dumpstered. Yeah, Wusa is just too strong. Very strong. Next will be GM, and I'll put GM over here. Yeah, GM at a pro level is an extremely powerful class. However, he gets dumpstered by kiters, and also this class is a bit weak in the sense that the class is still a forward guard class, and because of that, there are ways to play around him. That's an unstable class. Yeah, good against a couple of matchups, bad against a couple of matchups. However, GM with grab opening is still a very powerful class. I'll probably put the GM here just because the more you go forwards, most classes tend to go towards a more, how do I put that? The classes tend to go a lot more in favor of classes that are, it's got more mobility, it's got more coverage. GM has no coverage whatsoever. Yeah, 0 forward guard break, 0 anti-grab. You got anti-grab on your knee hammer, but it's not a stable anti-grab because it's like super armor, iframe, super armor, iframe. Yeah, if you get hit during the super armor, you get grab anyways on the same skill. So it's not a stable coverage. Alright, so that's one thing. GM is definitely I'm quite contemplating whether to put Yacha below or above GM. I'll probably say GM is here, obviously, due to just GM has a much stronger grab opening power, and it's got much better stability due to the fact that the class itself has very good linkage on every skill. The combo damage of GM is absolutely broken as well. So this class is really strong, better than Yacha. If you both grab open, this class is stronger than Yacha due to the fact that Yacha's skill, I forgot the name, I think it's Feral Rage or something. Yeah, I think it's for Feral Rage. You cannot cancel that skill. So the moment you cast it, you will have to do the whole thing. And so you're open to being grabbed. And at a pro level, they will grab you. They will use that chance to grab you. And that's why the class is a bit unstable. And because of that, Yacha is not better than GM. Plus, GM is just indefinitely more tanky. It deals a lot of damage. Grab opening damage way better. He's more bulky. He's just a lot more stable, I would say. Yeah. The only downside of GM is it's still a forward guard class, and because of that, there are ways around him. And he's got quite a bad mobility, and because of that, yeah, it's not exactly a god of gods. Yeah, still got weaknesses, same as Yacha. The classes on Demon tier doesn't mean that they don't have any weaknesses. However, those weaknesses are slim. okay, and the power far exceeds the weaknesses. Except for maybe Raven. Yeah, Raven has no weaknesses. Fuck that class. Yeah, the class is stupid. Yeah. All right, next is gonna be the Spearwalker. Ever since the bug of Spearwalker was found, this class is absolutely broken. Yeah, very broken class. At a high tier, this class will be considered better than even Lan. This class is super broken. The bug enables her to do a lot of crazy shit, and I tell you what, this class is fucking amazing. Yeah, very high trading power, amazing coverage. It's got anti-grab now on the Phoenix Wings, and you can actually rotate the Phoenix Wings slightly to the left or to the right to break an enemy's forward guard as well. It's not a good method of doing so, but she does have a grab in case all that fails. Very high range, very easy to play. It doesn't really need a lot of skill, and also the bug enables you to pretty much have near permanent immunity. So yeah, combo damage is also very high. Got a one-shotting potential for sure. Next will be the Lupa. The Lupa is still a very broken class. This thing is still definitely better by a huge margin. Better skill than Lotus. Yeah, this class is very broken due to having a pseudo Wusa effect. The skill, I forgot the name, I think it's a Gravity Bolt or something. Also has the effect where you get CC'd. The skill still CCs people, so yeah, it's very hard to combo this class. Very broken class, yeah. Extremely broken class. However, the class is pretty weak to a couple things. One of them being grabs, two being forward guard, break, and also the class gets kind of kited. Now that's quite a few issues, but it's not really something the class can't work around. The class does have a grab as well, and the class is overall really strong. I don't know whether to put this class on the tier of GM or tier of below, not quite sure. But in the current meta, due to the other classes getting lots of buffs, the class is just not as good as how it used to be. Next is gonna be Lancer. Now Lancer is probably arguably the third strongest class in the game. You can literally go for forward guard, the Divine Guard, yeah. Use full Serret, run away, hit someone and heal back damage, and because it's forward guard, you take no damage. It's a range type skill that belongs to a melee class and got very low cooldown. The class has 24/7 immunity, and everything heals. So you will heal and definitely quite a good damage. It's just a very perfect class, yeah. It's designed to play in a very pussy playstyle, but the pussy playstyle is the strongest playstyle. So yeah, we are talking about this in a high margin. The class has also pretty much no weakness except for grabs, but it's not something you can't play around. You can play around the grab, yeah, because you got so much mobility, you got so much protection, and you have no risk. Yeah, this class is also the best whale hunter in the game. Absolutely broken class, yeah. Definitely only not as good as Raven, due to the fact that Raven has, well, permanent iframe and no weakness to grab. Next is gonna be Paladin Dong. Paladin Dong is an absolutely garbage class. Yeah, this class is absolutely garbage. I think the only class that's better than, well, yeah, it's probably the top tier garbage class. Grab opening damage is absolutely garbage. Her grab opening is also very risky because you cannot cancel the wind up. If it fails, you can't cancel it. So the class is fucked up. The class have no coverage. The class have nothing. It's not exactly bulky, only 10% damage reduction. The cooldown of the immunity is absolutely garbage as well. One of the worst immunity rotation in the game. Absolutely dog shit, yeah, very dog shit class. Also, yeah, this class is just garbage. Damage is also absolutely garbage, yeah. One of the worst damage combo in the game, yeah. Very shit, guys. Very shit. Next is gonna be the Berserker. Berserker is currently a broken class. How broken? I'll probably rank him above Lotus. This class is absolutely broken. It's got amazing coverage, it's got amazing everything. It's got good forward guard break, it's got a lot of good stuff going for it. And I think the only thing that went wrong is the class does have a couple of weaknesses, and that's the fact that he needs to rotate between super armor and non-super armor skills, and that makes him liable to being punished during those windows. Like, his only engage skill is pretty much only Havoc Thrust, and because of that, after he uses Havoc Thrust, a sane person with a pro would know that's the window to punish him. Reckoning doesn't really have mobile movement, so he gets kited after Havoc Thrust has been committed. And the playstyle pretty much resolves around the same case as Warlord. The only problem is Warlord has more sustain than this Berserker. Berserker does not have that kind of sustain. That's the reason why Berserker is still not gonna be a good class. Plus, the class also lacks a couple things, and that's the fact that although you can argue the class does have good coverage, the class's playstyle is pretty telegraphed. Once Havoc Thrust is completed, you know he is no longer a threat. His threat is on one skill, and because of that, he is not too difficult to play around. At the pro level, this class will have some difficulty, yeah, for sure. Next will be the Gladiator. Yeah, this Gladiator is a very strong class currently. I would say that Gladiator is an anti-meta class. Regarding how good is the Gladiator, I'll put Gladiator actually below Blade Master. And it's not really for the reasons that you guys might think. The Gladiator's rotation is actually quite garbage, yeah. Just so you guys know, this class have a lot of downtime on the immunity. The class doesn't have any trading power, the worst trading power in the game. The class's super armor skills deal absolutely no damage, yeah, very garbage. And also the class doesn't really have any coverage aside from grab. However, I'm gonna put the Gladiator actually here. And the reason is simple. You can play a very gay playstyle. You can grab open and run away, grab open, hit, run away. That is possible due to two things. The class does have amazing mobility, long duration mobility, not exactly speed, not in the speedy sense, but in the duration sense. The class have good mobility. The Charging Thrust is a very long lasting running skill. It's got good Serret imbue as well on Deep Thrust and Ground Smash. Ground Smash heals a lot of HP. If you master the art of the shield cancel, you can actually go grab opening, grab open, Scars of Dusk, and then 2 Ground Smashes, and that will heal you a ton of health with Serret imbue as well. And it will allow you to pretty much withstand a lot of different hits. The class is also very bulky. However, the class against someone who knows how to beat him is actually quite easy to counter. The shield does not refresh, and so it's a ticking time bomb. The moment the shield turns red, that is a very bad sign. Especially in a pro level, this class is quite difficult to use properly. Yeah, very hard. In terms of everything else, he gets kited like shit, yeah, versus classes like Buccaneer or Lancer or Raven. He gets absolutely kited at a pro level. Against Phantasma is actually one of his worst counters, one of the worst, yeah. Phantasma, very bad matchup as well. So yeah, I think that's the problem with the Gladi. Gladi's got a lot of good matchups, but not a lot of... It's still got some bad matchups for sure. And those bad matchups are really bad. For example, Fletcher is quite bad matchup also for Gladi, because Gladi, the Volley of Reckoning actually breaks his shield very quickly. Other classes do the same, say like the Spirit Walker's speeding skill, Phoenix Wings, also breaks his shield very quickly. He gets grabbed very easily due to having no anti-grab as well. It's just a very circumstantial class, I would say. Very circumstantial, but the style is still there for a purpose. You can literally play this class as gay and it will work for you. Plus, the class have one of the best combo damage in the game. So kudos to Estrana and for Grey for making that a lot more known to the world and to myself. Thank you so much for your contribution to the Gladiator community. And I think that Gladiator has really rise into a completely different breed of class from a long time ago. Next will be Invoker. Invoker is absolute garbage, yeah. This class is garbage as fuck, yeah. The only thing that I would say is Invoker is probably still better than Kunoichi, in a sense that this class does actually have pretty good coverage. And although it doesn't have the best immunity in the game, this class is still a kiter, so it's still somewhat better than the Kunoichi. However, it's still shit. It's still a very, very shit class. Like, absolute shit, yeah? However, the class does have stealth, so it's actually quite useful. It's very fast, yeah? Got good range as well. That's about it. Very, very good lingers on the skills as well. Archmage, finally, after the buff, is currently a good class. Regarding how good, I'll actually put this one at a pretty surprising place. Archmage is currently over here, next to Glady. I'll probably say Archmage is better than Glady due to a couple of factors. And that factor is, the class is one of the best kiters in the game currently, and his only weakness, the lack of damage, has been solved, and now the class actually deals a lot of damage. Now, this is back again talking in a pro scene. In a normal scene, our Archmage will probably be like here, but due to we having a good example of what an Archmage can do in the name of Goopa to get good, so yeah, that's how we know just how strong the class is. I think ever since Goopa got, I think it was 3rd or 4th place in the EU tournament, we did a lot of digging into Archmage. We started to study the class a lot more. We want to know what the class can do and all that. And it turns out, after the buff that he received a couple of weeks ago, Archmage now is pretty good. At the pro level, it's actually a pretty good class. It's got amazing coverage. It's got pretty much the best anti-grab kit in the game. Pretty much all of his kits deny grab opening, but yeah, the class is not exactly the most potent in terms of fighting broken classes, but it's still a good class nonetheless. Very, very good kiting power. Next will be the Dracania. The Dracania is still a demon class. This class is super, super strong, and I'll probably put Dracania over here just to the fact that you trade twice, you win. That's the class, yeah? It's a very, very strong class, very, very broken immunity rotation. It's a very, very broken class, yeah? It's got 2 anti-grab and 1 full guard break, yeah? I think so. Very, very high damage, boasting the highest single damage output in the game. On 1 skill, yeah? Wings of Ruin. Very, very busted shit, yeah. Alright, next will be the Sura. The Sura is currently an anti-meta class, and I'm gonna be putting Sura over here next to this Shy. And the reason for that is actually quite simple. Invisible teleport grab into after image is still broken. Yeah, invisible is a broken kit in the game. And if you grab open a lot, this class is not exactly weak. It is soft, but the damage is quite nice. And if you guys have watched the combo, the one-shot videos, you will know Sura can do a one-shot combo. The Sura does have a couple rolls that can one-shot classes from 0% damage reduction to 10%. So the class's damage is absolutely really, really good, yeah? If you know the right combos, if you know the right way to play the class, is very, very strong, yeah? It's still a very strong class. But not enough to compete at a very, very high level, just to the fact that yeah, everything above is just so much stronger in almost every sense. Damage wise, the classes above are pretty much, probably most of them at least, is better than him. Tankiness wise, most of them on top is also around more tanky than him by a huge margin. Sura is one of the most frail classes in the game, yeah. So it's quite sad, yeah. And his immunity rotation is not exactly great as well. But the class is still great nonetheless. It's still a good class. And I do recommend those who are interested to still play him. I think the class is very interesting, and I think the class is at the pro level is still very, very strong. I think even some people like Enil play him without invisible and without grab opening, because yeah, apparently the class allows for that to happen. And next one is we're going to be talking about our second newest class, being Megu. Megu is currently a class I'll be putting here. Now, the class is very weird. The class doesn't have a straightforward kit. However, a gay playstyle combined with a tanky class and a lot of sustain is a way to go. She is pretty much a pseudo Crimson Lily, but bulkier and has way better sustain, better everything. It's like a Crimson Lily, but better at everything. and her combo damage is also extremely high, while the Crimson Lily's damage is fucking low. And because of that, Megu is literally just another Crimson Lily, but better in every sense. Aside from that, I think Megu is okay. Definitely not an amazing class whatsoever, but in the hands of a pro, this class can be quite deadly. I'm contemplating whether to put him here, put her here, or low demon. Probably put it low demon. Probably a lot more makes sense. Yeah. Regarding at a pro level, what can it do? What can it do? Yeah, I think Megu is a very strong class. It's got no apparent big weaknesses. Rotation is amazing. Good coverage as well. I think the class can survive the current meta, unless you're fighting Wusa. Again, Wusa is fucking stupid. Yeah? Please nerf Wusa soon. Okay, PA. This class must not be allowed in this game. This class ruins everything. It's absolutely garbage. Yeah. The difference between Wusa and the demon tier classes is heaven and earth. It's literally this Wusa makes every single class you see here absolute garbage. Like demon tier classes compared to Wusa is like you comparing a full-grown adult with a baby. Like literally, this Wusa will single-handedly dumpster every single of these demon tier classes. Absolutely broken shit. Yeah, very broken shit. Alright, next, I think that's it for the class tier list. Let me just do some final checking, and we will do some adjustments first. Yeah. Alright. Okay. Alright. I'll probably move GM here. Move Yacha here, probably. What else? Nah, I think I'm gonna put Yacha here. That's fine. Phantasma there. Yeah, it's nice. GM's there. Titan's there. Definitely, GM's definitely better than Titan for sure. Lupa. Yeah, that's okay. Berserker. Lotus. Nova. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'll probably put Spirit Walker here. I'm gonna put Megu here. Lan, Huntress. Definitely gonna be putting Megu here, maybe a lot more valid. Yeah. Not Mage. I put Megu here. Yeah, I think this is good. Yeah, I think this is good. Let's put this here. Yeah, I think this is a good spot. Yeah, for sure. Pretty good spot. I'll put this here maybe. Yeah, I think this is good. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed today's tier list. I hope you guys learned something new today. And if you have any questions, if you agree or you disagree on my tier list, please do comment in the comment section down below. And yeah, once again, please don't fight with each other. You wanna attacking and stating your opinion is completely different. Pretty sure you guys know about that already. I've done the announcement on yeah. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. This will be it for the Big Fish Arena PvP tier list for today. This will be a week after the Wusa release. Not really a week, it's only been like 3 days, yeah, but we got enough data to support that. Hopefully the Wusa will get nerfed and probably put where she rightfully belongs, and yeah, finally we can play a decent enough arena game, because currently Wusa is just so much stronger and like very easy to play, to the point where even noobs become gods when playing this class. Absolutely broken. Yeah, I think that's gonna be about it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys again on the next one, the next tier list video. I don't know when it's gonna be, we're still collecting data, but Once we get the data, we will do the next tier list. The next tier list will be a Black Sun tier list. Bye.